These autumn gardens, russet, grey and brown, the sward with shrivelled foliage strown, the shrubs and trees by weary wings of sunshine overflown, and timid silences. Since first you, darling, called my spirit yours, seem happy, and the gladness pours from day to day, and yesteryear across this year endures, unto next year away. Now in these places where I used to rove, and give the dropping leaves my love, and weep to them, they seem to fall divinely from above, like to a diadem closing in one with the disheartened flowers. High up the migrant birds in showers shine in the sky, and all the movement of the natural hours turns into melody. Mind said, pass by, the garden withers, for the spring is dry. For words of thine, for tears, it will not flow. The long road calls a wanderer, rise and go. Heart said, pass by, the flowers were pale and scentless, let them die. And down the road, forget your pathway, take to find beneath the song my fine small ache, and gather flowers blue and flowers red, to hear my whisper of the white ones dead. His love is warm and constant as the sun, like sunlight in the outer spaces spent, in empty courts where tumbling fountains run, and flowers bloom, and he is well content. To you, my heart must turn for all its light. Alas, the grudging taper that you give, so small to make the inner temple bright, so dim to give the glow by which I live. He is the sun for all the world to mark, so warm and fair he shines, nor understands that I must still be crouching in the dark, shielding a little flame with loving hands.
This heart that flutters near my heart, my hope and all my riches is, unhappy when we draw apart, and happy between kiss and kiss. My hope and all my riches, yes, and all my happiness. For there, as in some mossy nest, the wrens will divers treasures keep, I laid those treasures I possessed, ere that mine eyes had learned to weep. Shall we not be as wise as they, though love live but a day? Whence hast thou come? I have heard the night speak through thee. I have heard the winds cry out at thy coming. I have known the silent earth draw near with thee. Thou hast brought close to me the terror of the skies. Thou hast brought the fragrance of the white thorn blossom, and the cold, strange darkness of the sea.
On the shore I sit and gaze out on the twilight sea, for my ship may come, though many days I have waited patiently. With waiting, trusting eyes, a lonely watch I keep, for its silver sails to rise, like a blossom out of the deep. It is built of a costly wood, bearing the strange perfume of the gorgeous solitude where it grew in tropical gloom, and the odorous scent, the spicy balm of its isle it will bear to me as I stand on the shore in the magic calm, and my ship come in from sea. It is laden with all that is sweet of the beauty of every clime. Slowly and proudly 'twill glide to my feet in the eve of that fair sometime. Before me its sails will be furled, a princess I shall be, crowned with the wealth of the world, when my ship comes in from sea. Sweet faces I then shall see, tender, undoubting, true. Soft hands will be stretched to me with a welcome I never knew. In the peace of such tenderness I shall rest for evermore, and weep in my perfect bliss as I never wept before. Sometimes I think it is not far, and I bend my head and list, for I think I see a slender spar gleam through the golden mist, and I fancy I hear the sound of wind in a silken sail, and an odour rare from eastern ground floats in on the languid gale. But I sit and watch the west till the sun goes down in vain. It was only a cloud with an ivory crest, a cloud of vapour and rain. It rises and hides the sea, and my heart grows chill and numb, lest this terrible thing should be, that my ship will never come. But the morn is bright, the wave is a golden and shining track. Softly the waters, the white sands lave, and my trusting faith comes back. Oh, all that I ever lost, and all that I long to be, will be mine when the deep is crossed, and my ship comes home from sea.
You never loved me, and yet, to save me, one unforgettable night you gave me, such chill embraces as the snow-covered heights receive from clouds in northern, auroral nights, such keen communion as the frozen mere has with immaculate moonlight, cold and clear. And all desire, like failing fire, died slowly, faded surely, and sank to rest against the delicate chillness of your breast.
I heard a strain of music in the street, a wandering waif of sound, and then straightway a nameless desolation filled the day. The great green earth that had been fair and sweet seemed but a tomb. The life I thought replete with joy grew lonely for a vanished May. Forgotten sorrows resurrected lay like bleaching skeletons about my feet. Above me stretched the silent suffering sky, dumb with vast anguish for departed suns that brutal time to nothingness has hurled. The daylight was as sad as smiles that lie upon the wistful, unkissed mouths of nuns, and I stood prisoned in an awful world.
This loneliness encaged in me, that has no curious heart for life, no revolved blood, no treacherous flesh, no golden wickedness of song. This loneliness that preys in me, is it not somewhat like a nun? See the clasped hands, the secret eyes, the lips pressed close for fear of love. What if I make her drunk one day, with wine or some unholy need, then leave the cell door open wide? Think you she might be tempted out? End of poem.
I stood to hear that bold sentence of grit and mould, earth to earth. They thrust on his coffin dust, stones struck against his grave. Oh, the old days, the brave. Just with a pebble's fall, gravedigger, you turn all bliss to bereaving, to catch the cleaving of Atropos' fine shears would less hurt human ears. Live senses that death dooms, for friendship in dear rooms, slow lighting faces, hand clasps, embraces, ashes on ashes grind, oh, poor lips left behind.
I do not know the ocean's song, or what the brooklets say. At eve I sit and listen long, I cannot learn their lay. But as I linger by the sea, and that sweet song comes unto me, it seems, my love, it sings of thee. I do not know why poppies grow amid the wheat and rye. The lilies bloom as white as snow, I cannot tell you why. But all the flowers of the spring, the bees that hum, the birds that sing, a thought of you they seem to bring. I cannot tell why silvery Mars moves through the heavens at night. I cannot tell you why the stars adorn the vault with light. But what sublimity I see upon the mount, the hill, the lea, it brings, my love, a thought of thee. I do not know what in your eyes that caused my heart to glow, and why my spirit longs and cries, I vow I do not know. But when you first came in my sight, my slumbering soul awoke in light, and since the day I've known no night. Oh, and that I could write a story of love's dealing with affection, how he makes the spirit sorry that is touched with his infection. But he doth so closely wind him in the plaits of will ill-pleased, that the heart can never find him till it be too much diseased. 'Tis a subtle kind or spirit of a venom kind of nature, that can, like a coney ferret, creep unawares upon a creature. Never eye that can behold it, though it worketh first by seeing, nor conceit that can unfold it, though in thoughts be all its being. Oh, it maketh old men witty, young men wanton, women idle, while that patience weeps, for pity reason bite not nature's bridle. What it is in conjecture, seeking much but nothing finding, like to fancy's architecture, with illusions reason blinding. Yet can beauty so retain it in the profit of her service, that she closely can maintain it from her servant chief on office? In her eyes she chiefly breeds it, in her cheeks she chiefly hides it, in her servant's faith she feeds it, while his only heart abides it.
It was by yonder thorn I saw the fairy host. O low night wind, O wind of the west! My love rode by, there was gold upon his brow, and since that day I can neither eat nor rest. I dare not pray lest I should forget his face. O black north wind, blowing cold beneath the sky! His face and his eyes shine between me and the sun. If I may not be with him, I would rather die. They tell me I am cursed, and I will lose my soul. O red wind shrieking o'er the thorn-grown dune! But he is my love, and I go to him tonight, who rides when the thorn glistens white beneath the moon. He will call my name and lift me to his breast. Blow soft, O wind, 'neath the stars of the south. I care not for heaven, and I fear not hell. if I have but the kisses of his proud red mouth.
Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams.
A nymph of every charm possessed that native virtue gives, within my bosom all confessed, in bright idea lives. For her my trembling numbers play along the pathless deep, while sadly social with my lay the winds in concert weep. If beauty's sacred influence charms the rage of adverse fate, say why the pleasing soft alarms such cruel pangs create? Since all her thoughts by sense refined unartful truth express, say wherefore sense and truth are joined to give my soul distress. If when her blooming lips I press, which vernal fragrance fills, through all my veins the sweet excess in trembling motion thrills, say whence this secret anguish grows, congenial with my joy, and why the touch, where pleasure glows, should vital peace destroy? If when my fair, in melting song, awakes the vocal lay, not all your notes, ye Phocian throng, such pleasing sounds convey. Thus wrapped all o'er with fondest love, why heaves this broken sigh? For then my blood forgets to move, I gaze, adore, and die. Accept, my charming maid, the strain which you alone inspire. To thee the dying strings complain that quiver on my lyre. Oh, give this bleeding bosom ease that knows no joy but thee. Teach me thy happy art to please, or deign to love like me.
A flock of sheep that leisurely pass by, one after one, the sound of rain and bees, murmuring, the fall of rivers, winds, and seas, smooth fields, white sheets of water, and pure sky. I've thought of all by turns, and still I lie, sleepless, and soon the small birds' melodies must hear, first uttered from my orchard trees, and the first cuckoo's melancholy cry. Even thus, last night, and 2 nights more I lay, and could not win thee sleep by any stealth. So do not let me wear to-night away. Without thee, what is all the morning's wealth? Come, blessed barrier between day and day, dear mother of fresh thoughts and joyous health.
The clouds that vex the upper deep stay not the white sail of the moon, and lips may moan, and hearts may weep. The sad old earth goes rolling on. O'er smiling vale and sighing lake one shadow cold is overthrown, and souls may faint and hearts may break. The sad old earth goes rolling on.
A dream that waketh, bubble that breaketh, song whose burden sigheth, a passing breath, smoke that vanisheth, such is life that dieth. A flower that fadeth, fruit the tree sheddeth, trackless bird that flieth, summertime brief, falling of the leaf, such is life that dieth. A scent exhaling, snow waters failing, morning dew that drieth, a windy blast, lengthening shadows cast, such is life that dieth. A scanty measure, rust-eaten treasure, spending that naught buyeth, moth on the wing, toil unprofiting, such is life that dieth. Morrow by morrow, sorrow breeds sorrow, for this my song sigheth, from day to night we lapse out of sight, such is life that dieth.
O thorn tree, shake thy blossoms upon the wind, cover with leaves thy deep snow-laden boughs, that swiftly may sweet crimson berries ripen. My love has sworn when leaves and blossoms are faded, and thy bare branches are held blood red to the skies, he will kiss grief and longing away from my heart. The silver wings of the seabirds flash and go, the sea trembles, unveiling itself to the day. Why comest thou not? Why must I wait for thee? Is love so gentle to thee that thou sleepest unwaking? Is thy breath unhastened, thy brow dry and untortured? Dost thou rather seek the me in dreams than here on my breast? The beating of my heart has night long shaken my body. So great an anguish is my longing that sight fails. My limbs shudder with the bitterness of my desire. If thou hastenest not, death were easier to me than this. Perchance I am truly dead at last, beloved, and my body is lying still in some quiet place, and thou art weeping for me. But I am one of the driven, tormented dead whom the cold darkness sunders forever from rest, and this that consumes my heart is the pain of hell. I remember thee, O beloved, as one dead remembers the living. Faintly the sound of thy voice and thy laughter lingers about me, yet ever thy face is a star burning unquenched through my darkness. Too far I have left thee behind me to know if love be forgotten. For weeping and laughter and love have mingled their voices and ceased. Only I hear the sound of great seas long since overpast me. Lo, I would sleep, beloved, lulled by uttermost silence, sleep with even thy face covered away and forgotten, lost in a sleep unbroken by dreams or love or awakening.
Hope was but a timid friend. She sat without a grated den, watching how my fate would tend, even as selfish-hearted men. She was cruel in her fear. Through the bars one dreary day, I looked out to see her there, and she turned her face away. Like a false guard, false watch keeping, still in strife she whispered peace. She would sing while I was weeping. If I listened, she would cease. False she was and unrelenting. When my last joy strewed the ground, even sorrow repenting, those sad relics scattered round. Hope whose whisper would have given balm to all my frenzied pain, stretched her wings and soared to heaven, went and ne'er returned again.